platform. He is Representative Brian Babin, and joins me now. You know, sir, I thought corporations weren't going to give anything back. All they needed was a tax cut, though, to reinvest, it looks like. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's going to be huge. I mean, while I was standing there listening, in fact, you played the soundbite. The president read what he had just gotten minutes before from Boeing, or excuse me, AT&T. They're going to give 200,000 people $1,000 bonuses, and we're going to see an enormous investment in their workers and in their company. And this is not going to be the last we hear of AT&T or Boeing or any of these other companies that are going to be following suit. This is a huge win for the American people. In spite of what we're hearing from the opposition, this will be of enormous benefit, creating jobs, more money in the people's pocket, less jobs going overseas. This is an enormous thing, and I was very proud to be a part of it, to be celebrating over at the White House, standing right there behind the president.
You know, Congressman, after Obamacare repeal failed, I mean, Republicans were acting like cats fighting inside a pillowcase. They couldn't stand each other, but now it seems like they're coming together, and we had Congressman Senator Orrin Hatch. He was notably congratulatory. Let's roll tape.
Mr. President, I have to say that you're living up to everything I thought you would. You're one heck of a leader, and we're all benefiting from it. This bill could not have passed without you. You stop and think about it. This president hasn't even been in office for a year. And look at all the things that he's been able to get done by sheer will in many ways. And I just hope that we all get behind him every way we can, and we'll get this country turned around in ways that will benefit the whole world, but above all, benefit our people.
It was pretty emotional. You could hear his voice breaking, Senator Hatch's emotional reaction there. What was it like listening when you were at the celebration today? Can you give us details?
Absolutely. After it was over, I made my way down to the podium from where I was standing up on the steps and went straight to Senator Hatch. I shook his hand profusely, and I said, you had the most profound statement of the day. I really, really appreciate what you said. None of this would be occurring, without President Trump's victory in November and his forceful moving forward on his agenda. He helped galvanize both houses, all of my colleagues, to getting this thing done. And you know what? Now, let me back you up just a little bit, Liz. The House passed health care. We just didn't get it through the Senate, but we did strike a blow today against Obamacare. We have the part of the tax package was we're going to repeal the individual mandate, so there will not be a penalty on someone who decides they don't want to pay exorbitant premiums with exorbitant deductibles.
Yeah, but the employer mandate still stays, though, right? You're going to have to deal with that, right?
It does. Okay. We have a lot of work to do there, Liz.
Okay, here's the other thing. You know, Republicans passed historic tax cuts without a single Democrat vote. Now let's listen to their criticism.
This is the worst bill to ever come to the floor of the House, with stiff competition for what some of the things they've tried to do. It's disgusting, smash and grab.
This tax bill will be an anchor around the ankles of every Republican. If they haven't learned it yet, they're going to learn it next November. Republicans will rue the day they pass this bill.
So what we're doing here today is basically saying, wealthy Americans, big fat Christmas present for you. Tiny Tim, we're taking your crutch away from you and all the other kids in this country, and we're putting a lump of coal into your Christmas stocking.
Okay, Congressman, we just broke the news, and we're in breaking news mode. Wells Fargo is going to raise the minimum wage for their workers. So is Fifth Third. Boeing, FedEx, Delta, Southwest. The corporate reaction is now pouring into our studios on what they are going to do to grow their businesses and grow jobs. What do you think of the Democrats' reaction here?
Well, I think they got mixed up when they said that this tax reform package would be an enormous weight around the ankles of the Republicans. It is an enormous ankle weight around the Democrats. I think come next year when these benefits, well, we're already seeing them, just as you said. We're going to be deriving benefits from this package for many, many years to come, and we'll start seeing them immediately after the turn of the new year. So the Democrats, I believe, have been completely out of step. They have not read the tea leaves. They don't understand that the American people are not worried about DACA. They're not worried about, new domestic spending for welfare programs. They want jobs. They want tax reform. They want secure borders. They want increased national security.
Yeah.
This is what the American people want, and we're giving it to them.
Congressman JFK, he was a major tax cutter. This is not our parents' Democrat Party anymore. JFK was about 5% growth. He was about national security. And some say JFK would be far too conservative for today's Democrats, may not even be welcome in his own party. Let's listen to JFK.
It will include an across-the-board, top-to-bottom cut in both corporate and personal income taxes. It will include long-needed tax reform that logic and equity demand. Every dollar released from taxation that is spent or invested will help create a new job and a new salary. And these new jobs and new salaries can create other jobs and other salaries, and more customers and more growth.
We invented the assembly line and mass production, but punitive tax policies and excessive and unnecessary regulations. We were once the greatest producer of automobiles, producing more than all the rest of the world combined. That is no longer true. We must not be timid. We will restore the freedom of all men and women to excel and to create.
Reagan copied JFK. JFK created 13 million jobs and economic growth, and revenues poured into the government from the rich as well. Taxes went up for the rich, actually. Their revenues coming in. But Democrats now say, Congressman, that they will campaign next year on the, quote, tax scam. Have they gone too far left?
JFK would not find a place in the Democratic Party today. They have gone way too far to the left. When was the last time we heard a Democrat president or even someone in their leadership say, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country? It's big government, it's entitlement programs, it's open borders, it's weak military, foreign policy that's second rate. And we've had 8 years of seeing the benefits of what President Obama had to offer us. And it's so refreshing to see what's going on in our country today and be standing there at the White House and on a historic occasion and passing the largest tax decrease in our history. It's been 31 years since we've done this before. So I'm elated. I'm in full support of the President's agenda, and I can't wait to get on to the rest of his agenda in the coming years.
Thank you, Congressman. We love having you on. Come back soon, and Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas.